But it's very important when you want to act on top level. In this season, it will be a season of the survival of the fittest, and you need a squad depth.
That's Erik ten Hag speaking on the pre-season tour. And every single pre-season, he does a big sit-down interview with the press. So what I've done in this video is taken a look at the interview with the BBC, Sky Sports, Telegraph, the Daily Mail, the Guardian, and I've pulled out all the best quotes, and I'm going to let you know what Ten Hag has had to say on the football structure and his relationship with Dave Brailsford, Dan Ashworth, and Jason Wilcox, on Ruud van Nistelrooy and the impact that he's had on the training ground, on transfers, very importantly, and also about individual players, Jadon Sancho, Marcus Rashford. I'm going to cover it all in the next 10 minutes, so hopefully you enjoy it. Let me know what you think in the comments below. But as I said, I always enjoy these interviews with Erik ten Hag, and Ten Hag is the first coach at Manchester United have had, post-Fergie, who's actually going to have a football structure that actually helps him, right? And the first question here was, the start of the relationship wasn't exactly good. We know exactly what happened. He went out to Ibiza. They deliberated. But Erik ten Hag, he's saying this. He goes, we need to be unified. And in that unity, we have to fight together. Of course we do. What we've seen is a lot of changes from Manchester United. And I've run through these. I've done a video on it, on how many things have actually happened under Ineos so far. And one of them is recruitment. And this bit down here is important. It seems to be more aggressive, more proactive, but also more in keeping with the profiles of player that can actually execute the vision of your pitch, on the pitch, sorry. Is that Erik ten Hag saying that some of the signings that he's made haven't been? Whatever it is, our transfer record has been atrocious. It's been good so far this summer, Yoro and Xerxes, but we all know that August, we've got a lot to do in order for it to be absolutely nailed. But as I said, Erik ten Hag is the first manager post-Fergie to actually have a football structure in place to help and support him. And I hope he succeeds. And I'm just excited to see what happens at our football club when we've actually got a football structure in place. Go down here and he's saying, look, we have a good start. We've already got a good foundation and we're working very hard in togetherness. It's talking about communication, talking about that vision. And that vision is what's going to drive our club forward. Omar Barada's job is to execute the vision. Dan Ashworth's job is to make sure that everyone's got the tools they need to achieve and to work towards that vision. And Jason Wilcox is the man on the ground who's going to be making sure that things are happening at Carrington, right? And in terms of Erik ten Hag himself, I remember I did a video after the FA Cup final, and I said, you know what, this feels like my favourite version of Ten Hag. The way that he dealt with himself on that FA Cup final day, I thought was really, really impressive. There he's speaking about how much resilience that he's built up. I think he showed extremely good resilience before, during, and after that FA Cup final. And then this quote here I quite liked. He's saying that I feel that this is my club. And look, man, Erik ten Hag lost a lot of support from United fans last season because of how atrocious the football was. That can be recovered if there's improvement and evolution this season. We need to see that. And speaking about evolution, transfers, all right? We know full well, I keep saying it, you can measure a successful team by how well they do in the transfer window. United need a lot more of what we've got. And this was never going to be the case, but Erik ten Hag was just confirming there that, oh yeah, great. We're not going to switch our transfer policy because Lenny Yoro is out for 3 months. There always has been a plan to sign more than one centre-back. And Erik ten Hag here is basically saying what we all know. I want to have 2 players in every single position that I can rely on. And that's what elite level teams have. And what United still don't have in certain positions. We're still very weak at centre-back, central midfield, left-back. They're definitely the question marks that I've got. But in terms of transfers, there is so much more that needs to be done. Erik ten Hag said, look, okay, we've got the support network. We've got the right people in charge. We need to see more. And something that a lot of United fans are going to be looking towards next season, of course, is, as I said, the evolution of the football, right? And Ruud van Nistelrooy has come in and definitely made a difference straight away. And I'm looking forward to doing my tactical video, which I do every single preseason to look at how things are evolving. And in this comment here, Erik ten Hag was just asked about, what's going on with these attacking drills? What's going on with the training? We're building the foundation. We are building now the movements and the fine details of attacking. Going down here, we're trying to build the structures. We have to do it quicker and building better relationships on the pitch to get the connections right. And as you say, it has to be a way of life and automatic. And Erik Ten Hag has used that phrase before, a way of life. You know, like, was it first preseason? He was talking about how players, they have to eat properly, sleep properly, train properly, just live football for them to actually succeed, for things to be automatic. And that's what training is supposed to be. You're supposed to do something 1,000 times in training. So when it goes to a match environment, you don't even think about doing it. Your body just does it. Muscle memory, automatic, subconscious. And when you build those sorts of patterns in, we haven't seen any of that last season. It was the biggest criticism of Erik Ten Hag's football was that style of play wasn't there. Now, if Van Nistelrooy can help bring better automatisms, whatever you want to call it, patterns, to the attack, great. Erik Ten Hag, maybe focus on building up from the back with the ball. I think I've said this quite a few times now. For me, I think that's actually the biggest blocker for the progression of the style, is playing out from the back with the ball. I think it's linked to absolutely everything. So that's why we need the likes of De Ligt. That's why I think Mazraoui would be a good signing and better as a right back than Wan-Bissaka in this style. Sure, he's not going to be as good one-on-one, but anyway, that's for another video. Let's move on to talk about a couple of players who are going to be in the spotlight this season. Marcus Rashford and Jadon Sancho. And we'll start with Marcus Rashford, right? This is what he said about him. He goes, he has to prove this point. We will set the conditions. He's very capable of doing this. This season before last, he scored 30 goals and he's got high potential. And this is the thing here. When he is in that mood, that's kind of always been the case with Marcus Rashford. When he's in the mood, seems unstoppable. When he's in the mood, not last season, the season before, when he scored 30 goals, there was just a way he carried himself around the pitch. It was like shoulders back, confident. He was just very nice. He was just dinking the ball past players. He was skipping past players. He had power, he had strength, and he had confidence. But he wasn't there last season. And Marcus Rashford has got one more chance. And if he doesn't do it this season, I'd be very surprised if Manchester United didn't move him on next summer. But I hope he finds himself. And I tell you what, he's looked very good and sharp in pre-season. And another player who, I'll be honest, I didn't see him coming back into the fold. And that was Jadon Sancho. And he was asked here, you know, what's the working relationship with him? And this is what he said. Because we left this behind us and we said everything about this. We know from each other what the standards are and how we want to work, how we want to collaborate and need a good team. We just spoke about the standards, the levels, the abilities. And when I took over, you need good players to construct a good team. And Erik Ten Hag kind of reiterating this. I think we said everything about it. He was asked directly, did he apologize to you? I think seemingly just wants to keep it close to his chest. Doesn't want to give any sort of information. Sancho has got so much to prove this season. So much. He lost the support of a lot of United fans last season. And I'll be honest, so many of those players did. So he's not in isolation. I'm surprised he's back in the team. But if he does stay, then I hope everything has been put behind. And I hope he does kick forward. But, I mean, that interview, I enjoy these the interviews you get away from press conferences, you kind of get better questions. And that's Erik Ten Hag there speaking about the football structure, speaking about the transfers, speaking about Ruud van Nistelrooy and the training ground, and just speaking about how things feel different, and things do feel different. All right, of course, the proof will be in the pudding when we play Fulham on the 16th of August. But you can let me know what you think about that. I hope you enjoyed the video. Drop a like on it if you want to, if you enjoyed it. And if you're new, make sure you subscribe to United People's TV.